The most thrilling, spine-tingling series ever.
From the pages of R.L. Stein's best-selling books,
And the screams go on forever and ever.
We now return to Goosebumps.
Come see us at Curse City Con in San Antonio, Texas, September 27th and 28th. Buy your tickets at cursecitycon.com or click the link in the description. Greetings, Goosebumps fans, young and old, big and small, living dead and undead. Welcome back to the Goosebumps Crew Podcast. As always, I am your host, Isaiah Vargas. I'm joined by my good buddies Bjorn Palnick and Nick Shaw. We're the Goosebumps Crew, and we're back to, what else? Talk some Goosebumps. If this is your first time joining us here on the Goosebumps Crew Podcast, hi, welcome, good to see you. If you are or have ever been a fan of the popular Goosebumps series of books or the monster franchise that those books spawned, I have a feeling this podcast is going to be right up your alley, because as I always say, me, Bjorn, and Nick are some of the biggest Goosebumps nerds on the entire planet. We can talk about Goosebumps for hours on end, and that's exactly what we do here on this podcast. Every week we got a brand new episode talking about everything Goosebumps, whether it be the books, TV shows, movies, video games, merchandise, whatever it is. If it has Goosebumps in the name, we're going to talk about it so much that we're going to give you at home Goosebumps as a result. So with all that said, if you end up liking today's episode, make sure you like and comment. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell notification so when new episodes go up every Wednesday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, you get a nice little notification telling you, hey, it's ready to watch. But for those of you who are just dying to get those episodes early, trust me, I know that feeling, then you are in luck, because you can catch the audio-only versions of new episodes every Tuesday. That's a day early before the Wednesday YouTube version over on our audio platforms. We're available streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. You'll find the Goosebumps Crew. And of course, you can follow us over on social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, just to name a few. You can also follow Bjorn and Nick at Goosebumps Aussie Fan and Sean, respectively, on their social medias and their YouTubes. All those links are in the description below, so check them out. Join the Goosebumps Crew today, become a crew member. We thank you in advance for your support, but podcasters beware, you are in for a scare. Alrighty, so we're back at it again this week, and we're very, very excited because we are this close to making our very first live appearance at Curse City Con in San Antonio, Texas. We've been promoting this con for a good while now. We're very, very excited, so we figured we would take this time here on the podcast this week to talk a little more about what you can expect from Curse City Con. And joining us today to help us talk a little bit about that is Jesus Hernandez. He is the runner of Curse City Con. I probably am blanking on the official title. And he's rocking his Curse City Con shirt. Jesus, Great to have you here on the Goosebumps Crew. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, of course, we got to talk a little bit about, Curse City Con. This is a horror convention that is coming to San Antonio this September, the last weekend, September 27th and 28th. So that's a Saturday, Sunday. And as I said, we are going to be there, as we've promoted a ton up to this point. This is going to be the first time that me, Bjorn, and Nick are under one roof for the very first time, getting to meet you guys at home. For those of you who are coming to the convention, and we hope that as many of you guys do, because we'd love to meet you guys in person, and we got many more surprises coming in store for that. But in terms of the convention itself, Jesus, can you tell us a little bit about Curse City Con and what's usually all in store?
Yeah, no problem. I think the biggest thing about it is attendees beware, you're in for a good scare. I like that. If you think that was a good one, my cheese factor hasn't even kicked in yet, so watch out. When we're dealing with the show itself, I'll tell you, we are very much excited about not just with our guests or celebrities having y'all here, but being able to invite attendees from all over the place, from all over the world, arguably, to come down to San Antonio, hang out with us for a weekend. Our show is really just a love letter to horror fans. That's really what it comes down to. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be focusing on not just celebrities, the Goosebumps family, but we're also going to be having some authors, horror book authors. We're going to be having additional guests there. We're going to be showcasing amateur movies that are being made through a partner site. And so these are the types of this type of experience for a convention is what we were really hoping for. Ever since we got kicked off last year was our inaugural show. And so for year two, we were really definitely looking at just making it a big, memorable event that's going to be very fun, inclusive for everyone, and definitely not just a love letter to horror, but worth your might and scares. And so we're hoping that you'll enjoy that kind of experience.
And for those who weren't able to make it to last year's convention, can you tell us a little bit about what was all showcased last year?
Yeah, last year we kicked it off with being, I think, arguably a love letter to Five Nights at Freddy's and the Scream franchise. When last year we were very proud to have Roger L. Jackson as the voice of Ghostface. He was at our show, and then from a Five Nights at Freddy's perspective, we had all of the stunt actors that had were the actual characters were on site, and as the inaugural show, it was only a 1-day show. It was kind of our way to get our feet wet, so to speak. When we did that, we had them as celebrities there. We actually had an escape room in there. We actually had, besides a ton of vendors and crafters that were within the horror element. They were there, and I think, as I recall, some of the most fun that our attendees had was we had a costume contest, which we'll be repeating this year. Last year, it was actually pretty fun seeing the amount of creativity when it came down to having Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's walking around the convention. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were the winner. But with that being said, we also showcase those films that we had last year. We had a partner with Terror High. This year, it's actually going to be our own imprint, Curse City Cinema. And what it was is that we actually had a lot of the films being showed. There's this cool website where, as an amateur filmmaker, I could submit my films. We're looking for the shorter, not so much feature-length films, but just the folks that love, whether they're novices, students, or just tenured veterans there that just that thought it was cool to make a film. We were showcasing all of their creativity when we had that a panel room turn into a makeshift theater. We were really cool. It was really cool for us because we even partnered with one of the Hollywood studios to show a sneak peek of Smile 2 before it premiered. And then we also had, we were able to get, who's actually returning again this year, JML Films, which is relatively local. They're up in Austin, that do their own films as well. And they actually came down and had a pretty nice sized presence with some of their monsters in costume walking around the show, as well as some of their cast. So that was really fun to kind of experience. So that was the package deal that folks got in 1 day. And so going into this year, it's definitely doing both Saturday and Sunday. I think, to be fair, Sunday's going to be where we're going to feature the films and a lot of that presence. I say that because Saturday, I think we might have a guest that kind of takes all the attention. It might kind of be strong arming everybody away from there. So we're kind of planning for more of the Goosebumps love to be evident on Saturday itself.
Absolutely, and we'll definitely talk about that particular guest in a minute here. But first, let's show some love to some of the other guests who are going to be appearing at Curse City Con this year. Now, last year, as you said, there was a big focus on Five Nights at Freddy's and the Scream franchise. This year, more than more than you would probably expect, is going to be a big focus on, of course, Goosebumps and the Goosebumps books, the Goosebumps TV show, like just all aspects of Goosebumps. And it really makes sense because both Goosebumps has been making a big splash in the convention circuit this year, and of course it's going to be no exception here in San Antonio. And it makes sense too because we are, of course, celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Goosebumps 90s television series and the 10th anniversary of the first Goosebumps movie starring Jack Black. And some of our guests are going to be representing those two particular anniversaries. So I guess, of course, let's start off with who we can expect seeing from the Goosebumps family at Curse City Con this year.
All right, I think we could start with the person that we first announced. He was actually a great guy, Avery Jones. He is actually the puppeteer for the Slappy film from the what is it, the 2015 Goosebumps movie? I had to get my math right. But yeah, he's actually he really excited for him. He has not been to San Antonio. And speaking with him, he definitely is open to coming down. He might have a surprise or two when he comes down as a professional puppeteer. I'm hearing he might have some interesting puppets with him that'll really speak to the fans of Goosebumps as well as just in general. But when it comes down to it, I know that as I talked to him, we actually got to really ham up the fact that, hey, you're coming down to San Antonio. You got a lot of cool stuff to see as a tourist here. So just FYI, just remember you're committed to being at the show too, right? Those 2 days, they'll just disappear on me. But yeah, so we're really excited with Avery to come down here. His truth be told, it wasn't until we started talking that I started seeing some of his channel and his Instagram posts, and I thought this guy's awesome. And so and I think I saw him interact with y'all. Yeah, exactly. What were some of those little items that he buys? What were those?
Yeah, the little like mini
brands.
Yeah, he gets the mini brands. He's been trying to get that Slappy book. I feel so bad for him.
Well, there's a glow in the dark version too that's like super rare.
I have a few of them. I will bring him one if he hasn't got it by then, and that'll be my little like surprise. I'll be like, hey, you know those mini brand books you've been trying to find? Well, here you go. Or what I could do is repackage it, put it in a thing, and be like, look, I bet it's in here.
Look at that. Yeah. That'd be awesome, honestly. Yeah. And that'd be funny, too, because he sent you Goosebumps stuff in the past, so now you're giving it back to him.
This is paying it forward big time. And I will happily...
Right. But
I will definitely bring one. Yeah.
Avery's a great guy, and we've been very pleased to have him on not once, but twice here on the Goosebumps Crew podcast. The second time, he even brought a plus one, that being Slappy himself. So definitely go check out that episode if you guys at home have not seen that, because that was an absolute treat. But yeah, we're very excited to meet Avery, and we're very excited to see what he...
thankful for him, too, because without him, we would never have been able to be in contact with you. You know what I mean? Like he's the one who's like, hey, check this out. I'm going to be here. And the rest pretty much is history at this point.
Yep. He said it's this awesome con that's focusing on Goosebumps this year. So it was like, we had to see what we could do to get on board with that. So we're very excited.
Yeah, that's true. If it wasn't for him, we never would have met. I think so. That's great with Avery. And then the next one up was Mr. Craig White, who's one of the professional illustrators and cover artist for Goosebumps books. Y'all have to correct me here. I don't know my timeline correctly with him, but it would have been around the 2000s probably, I think, is when that series of books.
Yep, like the very late 90s. Yep. So he
towards the end of 97, I would say he started maybe
97,
early 98.
Yeah. So like that last 3-year span. Yeah, and he's awesome too. Another guest who we've had on multiple times on the podcast. He did the Give Yourself Goosebumps books, which, honestly, I might have mentioned this before, but as a kid, not knowing all the different artists, his artwork honestly looked like Tim Jacobus, and for a while I was convinced that it was him, but it's his own style that really closely resembled Tim's. So we're very excited to have him. This is going to be his first convention appearance ever as an artist, so we're very excited for him to come.
Exactly, and as I talked to him, I mean, he's just been a genuine, awesome person to interact with, and I
Yeah.
think with looking forward, I know he's got family down here in Texas, so it's like, hey, kill two birds with one stone, right? Just come on over after you get fed up with family, come on over, right? Type of thing. So,
Come over to your next
but
family.
yeah, exactly. Thank you. But that's pretty cool. Looking forward to meeting him as well.
Mhm.
Then after him, I think we also have Miss Maddie Gonzalez, who is actually did one of the graphic novels for I think like a new interpretation of the what was it, the Haunted
The,
Mask, right?
the
I
Haunted
think that's what
Mask.
it
Yep.
was. So
He did the Haunted
so
Mask and just recently released
This
his
one.
Monster Blood.
Yep, and you guys will be able to get new copies of that book and get them signed at the same time too. So, great opportunity there to have Maddie here.
yeah. And Maddie, I have a soft spot for Maddie just because she is from what you guys will hear when you're in Texas. The initials RGV, which stands for Rio Grande Valley. So if you look at a map of Texas, right, San Antonio is like right in the center, and the tip at the very bottom, that's the valley. And the Rio Grande Valley is actually known for like South Padre Island, and it's very, very wonderful area to go visit when you're not coming to a horror convention. But when it comes down to it, Maddie's originally from there, and so as soon as when we started talking, that's the first thing we started, jamming out on and saying, hey, yeah. And so she has been to San Antonio as a, just in general, but this is going to be her first time coming back in a while, from what I understand, and definitely first time as a
Nice.
convention at a convention.
Hmm.
So yeah, so looking forward to seeing her here as well. And then when it came down to just the other person that what is it, 6 degrees of separation? I think we're only three. It was Avery. It was me meeting Avery that introduced me to you all, who then led to Mr. Tim Jacobus himself.
Hmm.
So that was really cool. He's going to be down here. Now he's actually a hilarious guy. He did tell me, I don't know if I can say it on air, but he did tell me to say certain things to y'all, because of to make sure that we all knew each other, right? And so there was like secret code going on back and forth.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely he was a funnier guy than I thought. So when he comes down, I'm looking forward to just hanging out with him too.
Hmm.
But yeah, really excited with Tim. I know that with him personally, that was what I saw as Goosebumps, growing up. I So it should be no secret. Looking at me, I'm probably older than most of y'all, so than all y'all. But when it comes down to it, I was actually in high school when Goosebumps came out. And it's probably urban legend now, but in the little border town that I grew up on, the books were banned for certain schools. So it was one of those things to where you hear the allure of, ooh, I'm not allowed to see this. What's going on, right? And so here we are looking up for some of these books. Yeah, it became taboo. And Welcome to Horrorland was one of the first books that I ever read, because it was that cover was just so captivating to me. And to hear the state of Texas say that you can't read that at school, I'm like, well, here I am, right? I'm being resisting. Anyway,
stick it to the man.
Not to do something, because then they'll immediately do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there it was. That was my introduction, but it was that image from Tim that really got my attention, and it's been and so it's great to be able to have him down here as a guest, and to have him actually showcase his artwork, because in talking to him and just seeing his career, he's got so much out there that he works on, and so much beautiful artwork that it's definitely something that needs to be showcased more and more.
Definitely, and we can't sing enough of the praises of Tim. I mean, he's basically like an extended Goosebumps crew member at this point. We've had him on the show so many times, and he's just absolutely hilarious. He's got tons of great stories. He's very passionate about his craft and his work and everything like that. And the fact that Nick's met him a few times before, but this will be my first time and Bjorn's first time meeting him in person. So it's going to be awesome, and just
It's crazy because I've known him like 12 years. Like, we've spoken for a long time. Obviously it's hard for me to get over there. So this will be the first time we actually get to meet, because on and off we've chatted. I just haven't had the opportunity because it's not cheap to fly over there. So,
Right.
yeah.
This is going to be
But-
Bjorn's very first time here in the United States, so he's coming all the way here from Australia to attend this convention, and that honestly should be a testament to how important this is to the three of us, because of course we're also on the guest list as guests slash vendors. We'll be there. We'll have our own merchandise. We'll have our own booth. We'll be interacting with you guys, the Goosebumps fans, who will be there in San Antonio, and I mean, like, we're so excited. Like, we never thought like this is where we were going to be at when we started this podcast a year and a half ago. So, it's all because of you guys at home for watching and supporting us that we get to do awesome stuff like this.
Yeah,
And for those of you that are,
because we will be filming while we're there, so and we will be doing short little interviews with fans while we're there.
You guys are
So
going to know
definitely
that
find
we're
us.
there in San Antonio because we're going to be constantly reminding you.
and I do want to say though, help you guys out with some marketing here. So Bjorn, when you're there, make sure that you hype up the fact that you have a limited edition Australian autograph to give out, to attendees.
I will. I'll say this is one of few times, guys. So if you want it, you gotta get it now. And I'll sign as many as I want, but that'll be it. That'll be it. So
I still, I would have to pull it out. I still have the Goosebumps book that Bjorn signed like years ago when I was just a humble fan of Goosebumps Aussie fan.
yeah, those are the good
Nice.
days.
Yeah.
Well, there's still the good days. What am I saying?
Yeah,
There's still
it's
living
even
the
better
good
days.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah. If you're a real Goosebumps fan, you know the best time to dive in is after dark when it's quiet, eerie, and every creak in the house suddenly matters. G Fuel helps you stay in that zone. Clean energy, no crash, just enough boost to keep your head clear and your nerves steady through every creepy episode. Grab yours at gfuel.com or click the link in the description and use our promo code GBCREW at checkout to get 20% off your entire order. Perfect for late night fear sessions with the Goosebumps crew. And thank you to G Fuel for sponsoring this episode. And also, there are going to be non-Goosebumps guests there too, some authors and filmmakers.
Yes, one of the ones that I'm really excited about. His name's J.M. Logan. He's actually a filmmaker here in Austin, Texas. And I say here in Austin, it's north of us. It's without traffic, it's an hour drive. That means it actually is like 3 hours away because of traffic. But he's an awesome person. I met him through family, and I've seen the work. If you get a chance to look up The Relic. And he's built out a whole universe behind those films, and he's getting a lot of cool stuff in there that he's actually going to be talking about at the show, because there is an upcoming one, Dragon, that's going to be coming out here pretty soon, and turns out that he's been in the film industry for decades. He's worked on several films. I may or may not get in trouble for saying this story, but it's too funny not to mention it. So. His J.M. Logan, he has this JML Films, but as he was talking about like all his previous work, he did actually do a lot of the makeup work as well. He's a makeup effects artist, and he had worked on films as varied as like from The Conjuring's Annabelle all the way to The Passion of the Christ. Okay, wow. And apparently there's a scene in there where they do like a zoom in of Christ's hand being the nail being driven, and of course he worked all that, and that was actually his hand. So one of the things that I was actually got outvoted on was I was going to promote and say that we were literally going to have the hand of God at our show, but yeah, that got outvoted very quickly by my wife.
That would have been awesome.
Veto, I say.
Yeah, right. I shared it with him. He thought it was hilarious. But that to me was what really it's really cool that he was he's going to be able to not only be there representing himself, but he's bringing JML Films. He's going to hopefully be able to bring some surprises along with the cast and the some of the monsters, so to speak. So we're hoping that that's going to be a pretty big. Pretty awesome show. He did it last year for us, like a smaller version of that, and it was a hit because it's you look up some of our old selfies of people taking pictures of the monster that like this. I know I'm not calling it correctly, but it's like a wraith-looking monster that he was that was there walking around at the show. So we're hoping to have something similar this year again. So that's him. And then we actually one of the other as like I mentioned, Curse City Con is all about the love of horror, the horror genre. And so that includes comics, right? And when it comes down to comic books, we're very happy to have Cullen Bunn out here. He's the author of it's actually a couple of books or several books that he does, but Harrow County is one of the ones that as fans we've had, which is really cool because turns out Harrow County, I did not know this until I announced them. They actually did have a soundtrack made. When I was sharing this on Instagram, you could actually look up Harrow County and it has the whole soundtrack available. You pick the songs you wanted to. So I thought that was really cool. But he's done, he does a lot of independent comic books, but he's also worked on Deadpool, X-Men, with Marvel and DC titles he's done. So all around, great guy, awesome author, and he's going to be representing our comics world. We are working on announcing one more guest from a comics perspective. Just working on finalizing that. Hopefully, by the time everybody knows about our episode here. But with that being said, then from just a traditional horror novel perspective, we have two great. They ended up coincidentally being San Antonio natives. Johnny Compton, he's actually a great guy that did. He's Stoker Award nominated horror author, and his novel, The Spite House, was the one that got that nomination. If I'm not mistaken. Great book. I mean, you literally it's a haunted house book. And he's done lots of short stories. He did this one, there's actually a collection that's coming out that's called Midnight Somewhere that features some of his stories, and really great person to meet. Funny story about him. He was at our show last year. So we actually were going to be doing a promotion for one of the local news stations, and it was at a pizza place that we were at here locally, and so we're like, hey, this is cool. We're just sitting here eating pizza, just started talking while we're waiting for the segment to start, and as we're talking, we started getting to know each other. I had family conversation, and I started telling him some of the stories from growing up on the border, and I'm saying this story not just because it's funny, but because it's kind of feel like I have bragging rights. I was actually telling him my interactions with the Mexican cartels along the border, right? And he actually, when I looked at him, he was so enthralled and like, what happened, right? And so the way I tell the story now is that I literally was scaring a horror author with my stories, right? So I'll stand by that. But yeah, he really enjoyed the talk there, and can't wait to get that inspired. Maybe I don't know, another novel somewhere from someone. But
I was gonna say, keep an eye out on what his future books are, because maybe he was taking mental notes the entire time he was listening to you as well.
Hey,
You never know.
trust me, when we were there at the end of that conversation, as we were laughing it up, I'm like, dude, you have my permission. Go with it. Run wild with it. Come up with the story. For those of you that come down to San Antonio, if you see me, you just say, hey, what was that story about the Mexican cartel? I'm like, I'll tell it to you in person. I cannot say it. I'm too scared to say it and be recorded. No, I'm kidding. But
It's kind of wild. I think maybe we have a Mexican cartel member who watches our podcast. Never know.
Never know.
Right, you never know.
Watching right now,
so you never know.
Now, the other author that was coincidentally there eating pizza with us, and that was here at Curse City Con last year, is Celso Hurtado. Now, Celso he is a wonderful human being. I know him personally. Fun, useless fact: we actually have a similar day job. So when it came down to it, I didn't actually know of him until we started looking at he was recommended by friends of friends because of his book, and the novel that he wrote that got him on the map is called The Ghost Tracks. Now, for those of you that don't know about San Antonio, that's one of the huge urban legends and that we have down here, which short version of it, the story goes that back in the 30s or 40s, there was a school bus full of children that ended up stalling on railroad tracks, and unfortunately was hit by a train. So everybody dies, right? Of course, urban legend, guys. Spoiler alert, nobody died. But just work with me on that, right?
Yeah.
In this legend, these kids die, and so now that where those train tracks are, if you go and you park your car there, you put it in neutral. What you want to do is you want to go put flour on the trunk of your car. What's going to happen is that car is going to be moved off the tracks. And then when you get outside to look, you're going to see these little handprints where these kids were pushing the car off the train tracks.
Ooh.
So, yeah, that is a legend that goes back generations here in San Antonio. I even want to say, again, dating myself here, but even Unsolved Mysteries did feature that back in the days of Robert Stack. So, pretty fun story out there. So, of course, when a book comes out that's called The Ghost Tracks, you gotta watch it. And Celso himself is born and bred here in San Antonio, and he knew all about that legend. And he creates this really compelling story around it. Introduces this new character that, well, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's good enough for a sequel. The Devil's Promise that he also has out there, but it's actually a really cool story and overall just building on that myth that we have down here in San Antonio.
Awesome. And when it comes to, Curse City Con is a local San Antonio convention that is open to the rest of the world. But when it comes to, attendees, artists, and vendors, I can assume a lot of them will be pretty local to San Antonio.
Yeah, in fact, most of what we have from a vendor perspective, it's almost all local. We do have a couple of vendors that are coming in from just within the state of Texas. For the record, for those of you that have never been to Texas, we're a pretty big state. And I say that just to say that when I say local, I'm talking about, oh yeah, Dallas, it's right down the street. That's 5 hours away. So that's how that works.
Yeah.
But we've got vendors coming in. One of the cooler things that you're going to see about the vendors is that it has a very San Antonio flavor to it. And if you've never been here, you'll know what I'm talking about by the time you leave. There's definitely a personality to San Antonio that you're going to see through all its arts and crafts, all of the items that we have down here. And so that's what's going to make it pretty cool for folks from the vendor perspective. Attendees, last year we actually had one of the things about San Antonio, even though we're in the middle of Texas, we do attract a lot of folks from all other parts of the state, and it really is because overall San Antonio is just a wonderful tourist city. We have when it comes down to the people here talk about the Alamo, talk about the Riverwalk. These are the kinds of things that people come from all over the world to experience, and it really is something that overall the industry of tourism here in San Antonio kind of has been this way for decades. And so in terms of like our horror community, it really has kind of generated, I don't know which one came first, whether it's, chicken and the egg. Was it the horror community first, or was it AKA ghost stories, right? And then, or just the overall tourist industry. But we have a lot of folks coming down here, whether they're ghost hunters, people who believe, psychics, all that kind of stuff. We have so much of that because of just the rich history within the city of San Antonio. And so in turn, the horror community here is very much alive and thriving. Or unalive, if you will. See, I told you that cheese factor was gonna
exactly.
Come in.
Hey, we like the cheese here on the Goosebumps Crew.
Yeah, the community here. I mean, let me put it to you this way: this Curse City Con is not the only convention here in town, and when it comes down to just celebrating horror, we don't hold any monopoly on that. And what makes it cool in my opinion, what makes it cool for San Antonio is that a show like ours fits a very particular niche that complements all these other types of shows that are going on. So you do have like your traditional huge Comic-Con that coincidentally brings horror guests. You have that. And then you go to the opposite end of the spectrum and you have these free pop-up events that happen at local malls, which are very welcoming and have this whole sense of community to them. So it just runs the whole spectrum here. When you come check out San Antonio, you'll know what I'm talking about. And that's why with the attendees, you'll see them come from all over the place.
And I do want to mention too, you had mentioned how San Antonio is a very rich, like urban legend area. There's a lot of, even in the state of Texas itself, has a lot of like very famous cryptids and urban legends. And I also want to give very, very quick and special shout out to our friend of the Goosebumps Crew, Beanie, who did an amazing piece of promotional artwork for Curse City Con. We'll throw it up right here. This amazing piece. I've been trying to convince her to come down for the con so that we can hang out with her personally. But if I'm not mistaken, prints of this artwork are going to be available at the con for folks and attendees to take home.
Yes, they are. And Beanie was such a great person to work with. When she came up and asked about, hey, I would like to do this print, I'm like, I got an idea for you, right? And so I was sold on this, and this is actually literally the funny thing is I don't think I mentioned it to y'all, but like behind the scenes, what we're doing, there's also this little tabloid paper that's come out that's kind of popped up in San Antonio, and we're actually working with them. And by this time, you'll see that there's actually an article out there, where a cover story that talks about the idea that I pitched them was, what if Curse City Con was the Avengers moment for all the cryptids of San Antonio? So the whole premise here was, what if we get the Llorona, the Chupacabra, El Cucuy, the Lechuza, all of these cryptids that are well known around this region, what if they all decided to band together and come check out Curse City Con? So that was something that we pitched, and so now we got that story going on here. But Beanie herself, when she said, "Oh, what should I do? Or are you okay with this idea?" I'm like, "Hey, I got an idea for you," and she came out with this great image that ties into that. And I think it looks great. It captures everything about the cryptid aspect, the local flavor, so to speak, and gives it that Goosebumps vibe. I love it.
Mm-hmm. I also told her if she does come down, like, she is going to have to get one of those signed by Tim Jacobus, because I told her, as like, that looks very, very, very similar. I remember because I was checking in on her a lot during the process of creating, and she told me she was taking a lot of reference from the Jacobus covers. The Chupacabra has a lot of barking ghost feel to it, to the face.
Yeah.
So shout out to her right there, because that piece was awesome. And I also will mention too, everybody, since I could probably speak for all of us, but when I told people that I'm going to be in San Antonio, they're like, yeah, you got to check out the Riverwalk, you got to check out the Alamo. But right now, the only thing that the three of us are planning is to go check out all the different half-price books and Barnes and Nobles, and just do a big old Goosebumps Crew, Goosebumps hunt.
Yes,
on the first day that we get there.
We are definitely doing that, because I'm going up to the Riverwalk after the weekend, because I'm staying there for that extra time with Mum. So we were told when we booked all the stuff, they were like, go to the Riverwalk. And because the lady was like, I've been there, I know it. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. So she's like, I'll find you a hotel that's like right there. So Yep, that's where we're going to spend the remainder of our trip. So
that's awesome, Bjorn. Yeah, you're gonna love it down there.
Now it's time.
I've seen some video people shoot on it, and it looks very, very beautiful.
Oh yeah.
So that's something I think we're all looking forward to, because this is, I believe, all of our first time to be in San Antonio.
I've had family go to San Antonio, but I've never been there myself.
Yeah. I'm not talking about your family.
Is there a Five Below? Is there a Five Below near there?
Yeah, they're Five Belows here. Yes,
Bjorn really wants to go to Five Below.
Like, yes, we got our half-price books and Barnes and Noble, which is a given, but I just want to add one Five Below to that list, if that's okay.
You got it, man. Anything for you.
Yeah. There's also there are also plenty of Dollar Trees down here, and for the record, I'm hearing they're actually selling comics now. So if you're, might be worth the
that sounds cool, actually.
And Spirit Halloween, I got to go to one of them, because that'll be there. That'll be popping up while I'm there, right? So
yeah.
Oh yeah, it already opened. It already opened in August.
Yeah, I just went to one yesterday. So
yes,
very, very excited.
The time of this recording, though, I've already been there several thousand times. Don't even question that.
Yep,
I'm there like all the time. I practically live there.
It's just Halloween's not, it's not a huge thing here in Australia, so it's like to go there and experience it, because here,
dude, we're gonna give you the best Halloween.
We'll have to try to find a haunted house.
Yeah.
Yes, you're lucky. You're lucky
Yeah.
to get one.
So much
person
we're gonna
knocked
have
on
to
the
pack into
door
one
on
weekend.
Monday. You're lucky
Yeah,
to
we
get
got a
one
lot of stuff to
trick-or-treater
try to
on
pack
one.
into a short amount of time.
Which brings
But
us
would
to
you say-
I do like that you say that you're more of a niche kind of convention, and you do a little bit more outside the realm of just the typical actor star of a film or films. In that same ballpark, we go to another Goosebumps guest of Jack Lynn's.
Mhm.
Yes.
You know, I don't recall ever him being at a convention before. So this will be a first, another first for a Goosebumps fan. If you're wanting to meet the composer of probably the most famous, one of the most famous musical ensembles for a TV show.
Yep.
Because he did so
Songs.
much for Goosebumps over its 4 seasons. It's insane. But we all love the iconic intro theme song. I
Yep.
think
Oh, yeah.
every single person I see
That
post
we
a
do.
Goosebumps post, it's always that intro.
That intro theme song.
There's,
Yep.
there's a library that you could go through, but they always want that intro because it's just so iconic.
Exactly. So yeah, Jack himself is actually going to be down here for both days, and looking forward to meeting him. I know he's very genuine, authentic person in my interactions with him, and so I'm definitely looking forward to what we can do with him while he's down here. And if we can't have him actually play it, we'll have him hum it for everybody in attendance. I don't know. We'll do something. But
We'll do
Put it on
something.
the
We'll do
dog
we will personally do an acapella.
exactly.
like-
Dog park.
Well, because the
Saying
thing is,
right
you
now,
can
dibs
actually
on the dog
get
part.
like the vinyl now for the Goosebumps soundtrack, so that would be really cool. Like for him to do like a signing, the
Mhm.
vinyl.
Oh
like,
yeah,
Definitely
Oh,
bring
yeah.
your
You can
Goosebumps
sign
TV
cassette
show
tapes.
vinyls down here. Your CDs.
Yeah.
Your...
Now I will say, like, it can lead into our conversation of your lead guest here as well. But if
Mhm.
Jack can play
Yeah,
that
did we
theme
forget
song
somebody?
for this,
Yeah, I don't know. I
well,
feel like
I'm
we're forgetting
saying.
somebody.
There's one guy,
Somebody.
and I only remembered
Was
him
there
just
another
now
guy?
because of
Oh, yeah.
Jack. So
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
If-
remember.
if somehow Jack can play the song for this man to come out to, that would be the most epic thing.
You know what?
ever.
I just remembered who it is. It's a little known
Oh,
author
darn.
named R.L. Stein.
Yeah, that's right. I
Didn't he write
remember.
Goosebumps?
He's.
Oh my
I think
God.
he did.
Yeah. No, he did something like he
No.
wrote every single Goosebumps book ever made, and he's the reason that we are talking about any of this right now. I don't know.
I think because
Underground guy.
he was I don't know, joke books. That's what I know him for. I don't know him for
Yeah,
anything
the
else.
Ghostbusters,
Well, he did-
the Ghostbusters
he did the
activity book
Castle.
or whatever that
He
was.
did those
That's what I know.
Fierce Street
Eureka's
books, didn't
Castle.
he?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
didn't
I
really
think so.
count. But yes, R.L. Stein, he is the headliner announcement, and I remember the night that you told us, and we were just floored, just floored
Yeah.
that we were going to have this opportunity on top of all the ones that we were already staring down to begin with. So tell us a little bit about R.L. Stein.
So with him, I'll start with the background. So me personally, I've been working with conventions in the industry, so to speak, for the better part of 2 decades now. And I've been staffed for several shows, most of the local ones. And then I even had some great times being a contractor out there with San Diego Comic-Con. So all that experience basically means if you go back, I don't know, roughly 10 years or so, every time we would talk about who are the people we'd love to meet, who are the people that had an impact for us from a pop culture perspective, all that kind of stuff. In that little clique of people that I would talk to was always the one name that would come out to say, wouldn't it be cool? Right. And we would talk about R.L. Stein. And even as 10 plus years ago, he was known for, he doesn't really do conventions. He'll do libraries. He'll stay mostly in the New York area. And he is, he's impossible to get. Right. He became a mythical unicorn for people that are in the industry to get him out to convention.
Yep.
So,
He became
that was, there you go. Right. That just had the horror element to it. But what ends up happening is, so then, fast forward all these years and I'm starting this idea of Curse City Con. And now I have my own friends and family here that are all the exclusive horror fans. And then I did have to have some non-horror fans to keep me grounded. And so as we talk about like who would be cool to go ahead and get for this kind of show. And the first one that I thought about was R.L. Stine. And when I first brought this up almost 3 years ago, it was like, ha ha ha, right? Yeah, let's look at budget, let's look at stuff like that. But then, it doesn't hurt to ask, right? We're just asking, and we're reaching out, and so that's what I did. Just started reaching out, trying to get connections and see, hey, would he even be interested? And to my surprise, right, it took me back to kind of like those days of middle school and high school when you always wonder about that girl that you're kind of interested in, and it's like what you just got to do is ask. They're not. Well, the worst they can say is no. I never took that advice back then, right? I never asked now back then, but yeah,
it's not.
But now that I'm an adult,
that's not the worst thing they can say.
Exactly. No, nowadays, I'm just glad the internet and social media weren't around when that was happening for me. So all the embarrassment. But now, as an adult, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'll just ask. And so, surprise, surprise, he would be interested. Now, year one was the original plan. I was hoping to have him for last year. And of course, I mean, if I were in his shoes, I'd probably react the same way, which is like, that sounds cool, thanks, but let's just see how you do that after that first year, and then we'll talk, right, for year two. And so right away, got her involved with trying to make that work, and so it happened. And so for about a year, a little over a year now, we've known that he was going to be available that he was going to come down for this year's show. And let me tell you, in my life, the number of secrets that I've had to keep are like, they're out there, but for this long, that's the secret.
Yeah.
I was just
that
bursting
is
here,
some
right? Like,
Marvel Cinematic Universe secret timekeeping. I mean, that's crazy. I didn't know you were done that long.
I would have been like the Tom Holland of this situation and just been like spoiling it without even knowing.
Yeah. I was even going to go with the Andrew Garfield thing of saying, oh yeah, he's literally here, in some year one, just start making random posts and stuff, and then flat out denying it afterwards, right? That would have gone that route, but no, I never said that. Yeah, exactly. So it just worked out, and when it came down to it, the thing that I'm happiest with was that we actually are going to be able to partner with local libraries, the San Antonio Public Library, to say that they were instrumental in helping us and inspiring us. This kind of a convention and having R.L. Stine here would be an understatement. That relationship with the library I've had for years now. In fact, going back to the other conventions that happen here locally. And one of the things that I've always wanted to kind of give a shout out to was the library itself. I know as Goosebumps, we can all understand being avid readers is a good thing. And from a personal standpoint, that is something that it's just should never be taken for granted. And when you talk about, like, if you're a true horror fan, whatever you want to be a gatekeeper regarding that, there's something you just have to read, right? You got to read the stuff that's out there. Mm-hmm. And the one place that you could do it that was accessible to everyone, and especially here in this community, it's always been the library. Our library is one of the best, in my opinion, in the country, and I wanted to be able to kind of contribute to that legacy in some way. And so, getting to have R.L. Stine down here, I was able to go ahead and have a lot the San Antonio Public Library involved with being there as a presence at the show, being able to be a part of the show with him, introduce him when he comes down. That's going to be the exciting stuff that I wanted to have, kind of as my quote unquote thank you love letter to the library itself. So in the end, that's really all the stuff that really inspired and got us to work with R.L. Stine and to have him down here visiting with us and hanging out with y'all on San Antonio.
Absolutely. And looking at it right now for the weekend, as we said before, Saturday is going to be not only probably the busiest of the 2 days, but definitely the one where the most Goosebumps love is going to be shining through, because R.L. Stine will only be there on Saturday. and he will be doing signings, he'll be doing photo ops, and there will be an hour-long panel where he'll be appearing to talk to guests. And this leads into our final topic to cover, and that is tickets. To get your tickets, you go to www.cursecitycon.com, or you can also click the link that we'll be leaving here in the description. Jesus, can you tell us a little bit about how much tickets we'll be looking at?
Yeah, in fact, one of the cooler things that we're doing since we do have R.L. Stine and we have such a great presence for children's books, kids 12 and under are free, with a paid adult. So that's one of the cool things that we wanted to offer here to the community. And when it comes down to it, we offer the weekend pass and as well as a Saturday only or a Sunday only pass for R.L. Stine. That's a separate experience that you could purchase. All of those prices and details are available on the website. When you go to cursecitycon.com, right there on the landing page, you can check that out. And I'm very happy to say that we are budgeted for everybody to be able to take advantage and at least come hang out.
Absolutely. And I also believe we can mention that if you get your hotel tickets, because this will be held at the Marriott Hotel here in San Antonio, and this is where the convention will be held. And if you go and buy your tickets through Curse CityCon's website, you will be able to get discounted hotel prices.
That's right. So we're at the Marriott San Antonio Airport. So it literally got its name because it's the closest Marriott to the airport here in San Antonio. And so we do have actually a room block available. So as a attendee, when you go on our website, you'll see there for the hotel, the link, you purchase that link, you purchase your room through there, and it is a discounted rate. So I encourage y'all, if you're going to need a place to crash, that's the San Antonio Marriott Airport. That's the one to go to.
And then that way too, you'll be right there at the con. You can just go right downstairs and there it is. You don't got to do any driving. That's what I would do.
Exactly. You could get the Uber or whatnot to go down to the Riverwalk and then come back and really enjoy the Riverwalk that way.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's looking to be an amazing weekend, and we're so close to it. Like practically can taste the horror from there. So we got tons of experience, tons of awesome experiences in store, tons of surprises, great guests that are going to be there, and we're not only going to be sharing the love for the horror community here in San Antonio and all of Texas, but also of course the love for Goosebumps. And we're definitely excited. We're excited to meet you guys at home over there at Curse City Con and meet all these wonderful guests that we've had on the podcast for the very first time in person for many of them. So very, very exciting stuff. And we just got to thank you, Jesus, for putting this convention on and bringing, horror love to San Antonio, and also for bringing us on and just arranging this incredible celebration of the Goosebumps name for this Halloween.
Yeah, you guys are definitely the kind of fans that we that show that passion that we would. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You guys are more than welcome here, and we definitely want to meet y'all. So, looking forward to seeing you guys in person when we all get to hang out that weekend.
Absolutely. And we hope you guys at home will get to see you guys there at Curse City Con. Remember, that is in San Antonio, Texas, this September 27th and 28th. That's a Saturday, Sunday. You can get your tickets right now at cursecitycon.com or click the link in the description below. Go get your tickets now. They won't last forever. You can also get, as we said, your R.L. Stine Goosebumps experience. That's to get a admission to the panel, get a photo op, and an autograph from R.L. Stine. So if you guys are wanting to get the full R.L. Stine experience as a Goosebumps fan, you're definitely want to get your hands on that pass while you can. So all that information is on Curse City Con's website. As I said, www.cursecitycon.com. Click the link in the description. You'll go check it out. But we hope to see you guys all there, celebrate the love for Goosebumps and horror down in beautiful San Antonio. So we also just want to thank Jesus for joining us here tonight and talking some Curse City Con with us. So thank you very much.
Thank you all.
And that is going to do it for tonight's episode of the Goosebumps Crew Podcast. As always, make sure you follow Bjorn and Nick at Goosebumps Nazi Fan and Challenge, respectively. If you liked today's episode, make sure you like and comment. Subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on our audio platforms and social medias. All those links are in the description below, so check them out. We'll have another episode for you next week, but until then, this has been the Goosebumps Crew Podcast. And from all of us here, we want to wish you, as always, to take care, stay safe, and have a very scary day.